And put them in the Dutch oven, but our potatoes have sprouts on them, so every eye is sprouting, so we have to plug those, take a plug out of each eye to save them here for our garden. So we'll use those to plant our garden with. So we just put them in the cellar until we're ready to plant garden. All right, so Jamie is getting ready to fix her toad in a hole. Now this is an American toad in the hole. British toad in the hole, I fixed it yesterday. So this is a British recipe. First time we hear of toad in the hole is from Richard Briggs in 1788. He is a tavern chef. Bring it up here so these people can watch you do it. So, we gotta watch her do this.
Is this safe for me to sit in this chair?
That one falls backwards. This one
won't fall backwards. But this one falls through, so that one
falls through on that one.
Take your choice. I'll sit on the edge. Yours sturdy.
So I've cut a hole in the center of the bread, and I've put some butter in the bottom of the skillet, and then put the bread in with the center.
In there.
And this is the first flip, so I'm going to put it back on the other side.
This is a British toad in the hole. This is an American toad in the hole. This starts when we start getting sliced bread. And people start cutting that hole in the bread and putting an egg in there and fixing it. And the kids love it that way.
Will you hold that casserole up again?
Really?
Oh,
yes.
I never. I feel like it's
hot.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try it.
It was hot
Is it
yesterday
hot?
when
Okay.
I made the picture
1, 2,
yesterday.
3. Are those hot dogs?
Sausages.
It's sausage, and this is a Yorkshire pudding. That's what the British are doing. They're stretching their meat. If they have just a little meat, they put those few slices in there and then fill it full of a custardy bread, which is a Yorkshire pudding.
Donna, I read about scrapple last night.
Scrapple?
Oh, yeah, boy, that's something to eat. I don't necessarily relish it, but
It's good.
yeah.
It's good.
It's,
What about hogshead
Can you
cheese?
tell us about scrapple?
What about hogshead cheese? That's
I know what
good.
hogshead cheese
Well,
is.
this scrapple, just whatever was left over after you did everything you could with that hog. You cut that meat up and cooked it, and then what, cornmeal with it. I don't know what else.
Didn't they serve it with syrup?
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, and on all kinds of things. Yeah.
I've never been that
Spam of the day or
Yeah.
I've never been that hungry.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going. Since we just have to wait for that to cook. Mike Caldwell, watch your head. I would like for you to tell your story about the 2 shotgun shells. So,
Oh man,
so just look at the camera right there and tell your story.
well, back when we was young, Mama raised 7 of us by herself. Big kids, and my mommy just a real small woman. She probably didn't weigh 90 pounds wet, but she raised us. She worked at a sock factory, and she didn't make much money. And us kids was learned to work ever since we were small. I mean, whatever we done, there wasn't no sicing or anything like that. We done it, or we regretted we did it. But she'd come home from work. She'd stop at a little old store down there and buy us 2 shotgun shells. And she'd come home from work, she'd say, now if you boys, my big brother and me, if you'd go over in the woods and get a squirrel, rabbit, or whatever, bring home and I'll cook it for supper. And we was more anxious to go. And you know, we would go over there and we'd either get 2 squirrels, 2 rabbits. And we didn't miss. That's one thing we learned, is not to miss. But it was the same way with fishing. I was raised there on the French Broad River, and Mama come in, she'd say, now if you boys would go to the river and catch some fish, I'll fish them. We was more willing to go because we loved to fish and hunt. And we hunted everything. Groundhogs, possums, squirrels, rabbits. Never could get no ducks because it's too fast. We'd waste a shell doing that. So she brought us all the way up until we was old enough to take care of ourselves, and we always helped Mama. And I mean, that was a crowd lived in a house kind of like this right here, except it was a 3-room, wasn't no upstairs. And it was something else. You'd throw a cat through the wall, actually. And she took care of us. She loved her kids. I had a good mommy. I really did.
That's motivation to learn to, you've only got 2 shells to get your supper.
Yeah.
Did you ever kill
But
a deer?
that's what we done. And
Carol asked if you ever killed a deer.
oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I deer hunted up until a few years ago. And I got to liking them because they come in the yard over there, and I quit shooting them. And I did go up to her house and met a friend of mine to shoot us one, but we didn't.
Okay.
But,
Jamie is gonna put her egg in this toad in a hole, so get a picture of this. Let me get these plates out of the way.
Mama used to make fried cornbread. Man.
Thin or thick? Was it thin or thick?
Thin?
Thin?
Yeah.
Push it down.
Did you get a picture of
Make
this?
it crackly.
Yeah, she'd mash all that. She'd make meal gravy of a morning. It was just real
Tilt it up.
old-timey stuff, just like this. It reminds me a lot of my raising.
Yeah.
I used to hear it called sawmill gravy. So it's just
That's what she
meal.
made, sawmill gravy.
Cornmeal.
Skillet, and I
Yeah.
can take a picture.
We always called it sawmill gravy
Yeah.
if we used cornmeal instead of flour,
Right.
because it was gritty.
I didn't like it.
And
Tilt it just a little bit.
Oatmeal.
Don't spill it, of course.
Fried oatmeal.
As much as you can without spilling it. Okay, got it. I see it.
But most people would take oatmeal when they was making a pot of beans after the beans got done, or just right at the boil of the last boil. They would put oatmeal in the beans.
Really?
Oh, wow.
I've never
Yeah.
heard of that.
That was good. I mean, it would.
Like pinto beans?
Just to thicken the beans, or?
Well, it would thicken the soup. If it was
Uh-huh.
too soupy or something like that, put it in there. It's good for you.
That they put in there.
Nutritious.
Oh,
Beans was nutritious.
Yeah,
I had never heard that.
yeah.
So is
Yeah.
that what you're referring to
Now,
as
if you
fried oatmeal?
Uh-huh.
And then they would.
But it was dry. Now, fried oatmeal is a joke. I mean, you can't fry oatmeal. That'd be a mess. But to put it in your beans,
How
you
much
wouldn't,
would
you
you
wouldn't
put
put
in
a whole
there?
lot, a couple of teaspoons, because you know oatmeal will swell up in water and make a pudding like.
Yes.
All this would do was dry up some of it where you wouldn't waste none of it. And you could make it just as thick as you wanted it. That way you could have whatever size soup beans you wanted. It would dry it up and you wouldn't see it in your beans. It wouldn't be no paste or anything like that.
Yeah.
It would all blend in and go together.
Okay, I got a test for everybody. This is called a save all. What do you think we're going to save with this?
Well, we used to put down the teacher's seat.
Must have been a bad boy. we're going to save everything. We don't throw anything away. So when we have to change out a candle out of our candlestick, we're going to save our stubs. So when you have a little job to do to sew a button on, pick a splinter out of somebody's finger, or even read the Bible, you're going to pick the stub that matches your job. So that's a 15-minute job. And this smallest one will take 15 minutes to do that little job. So we're going to use every bit of that stuff. So we're saving every bit of that candle. So that's what's called a save all. Now if you have a larger job, say you're working on a quilt, you're going to be working for about an hour. So you're going to use the bigger stuff. That was your test for the day. Now I'll tell you a little thing about salt while we're still waiting on our food to cook. So salt is hard to get during this time period. So we're going to save our salt because it's precious. So we're going to teach our young children how to save salt. So salt shakers haven't been invented because the anti-caking agent hadn't been invented. So we use a salt cellar. We would pour the salt into the salt cellar. And then we teach a kid to lick 2 fingers, stick that in the top of the salt. Now where your fingers are wet, the salt's going to stick, and then you're going to salt your food this way. Clean your fingers. Now in American Sign Language for deaf people, that's still the sign for salt. Because of that trick to teach children the amount of salt to use. Now that's a French influence. Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
She's the new Bill Landry.
What's your name?
Mike
what?
Caldwell, it's on my hat.
How do you spell it?
CALD
Oh,
WELL.
and where are you from?
South Knoxville.
South Knoxville.
Born and raised in the same home place.
All right.
If you don't mind naming your birth date, what would it be?
My brother
Your birth date?
is 10/20/52.
52. Okay. Did you have brothers and sisters?
There was 6 of them.
Oh, that's right. You said your mama raised
3
7.
girls and 4 boys.
Were they all tall like you?
Nope.
No.
I'm the tallest one.
You are a tall one.
I believe this is ready if anybody wants to try it.
Now, what is it?
We have bratwurst, potatoes, and onions.
We grew up
I
before
forgot
we
to bring
had
the
to
crab
hunt.
to add to it.
And that
But
was
if
for us.
anybody's welcome to. And here's some salt.
You don't have to lick your.
So you got a dog for hunting?
You'll catch and kill anything that's out there.
So you still do a lot of hunting in Knoxville?
I do.
Oh.
I live on the Eastern State Reserve over there.
Oh.
My property joins it with the river.
Uh-huh.
It was once called the old Eastern State Farm.
Oh,
off
and guess what
Riverside
he has
Drive.
found? Tell him what you
Well,
found with.
that's the hospital, the old hospital. We was across the river from it.
Oh, okay.
And that's where we learned a lot of our stuff. We would go over and pick corn and stuff in the summertime, and that we were allowed to do it because there was so much of it. And Mom would send us over there and get greens. In fact, right before she got sick, we went over and picked wild turnips and greens.
Yeah.
It's been 10 years ago, or a little longer. And she loved them. She loved poke. We'd go out and pick poke. Blackberries, you name it, we done. If it eat, we eat it.
If it didn't kill you, you'd eat it. Eh? If it didn't kill you, you'd eat it. Eh? If it wasn't poisonous.
We used to go over on the river when we camped out fishing at night. We was kids. Our daddy and our grandpas would learn us to take mud balls, wrap them fish in it, put it on fire.
Yeah,
When,
depends
when
on.
it got done, it would be red. We'd use red clay. And when you peel that off, it took skin, scales, and all, and it was pure fish.
Is that
You
right?
sit there with a fork and didn't have to flay them or clean them. You just got them,
Uh-huh.
but that's all we would do. We sit there and eat fish all night. And it was unreal. Run trot lines, limb lines. Had old boat we paddled around on the river. It was fun. It was a good life. We thought it was hard, but it wasn't.
It wasn't?
Not looking back at what I went through.
Uh-huh. So it's easier now? Life is easier now?
Well, I still do the same thing.
Do you? Still work as hard?
I still work, still cut trees. When I was young, I went to Maynardville and started logging at 14. The 2 horses, work horses, and drug logs out of the woods, sawed them in pulpwood, and loaded them on the truck by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it was big logs. But they said I always work smart, not hard.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I always tried to do.
We're living in forts and stations. So everybody had to bank their fire when the night watchman said curfew. So the word curfew means put a cover over your banked fire. Because if your cabin burns, it's likely they can't put it out and the whole fort or the whole station will burn. So you'll have to bank your fire. But since we're here in the mountains, our houses are far apart. So we can bank a fire and not put a curfew on it. But that's where the word curfew comes from.
What would they use to cover it, Donna?
Well, I've got a picture of one. Let me get it out here.
How did that prevent it from starting a fire?
History. That's a curfew. And you would put that over your banked fire. Now that's made of pottery and it's about that tall and about that wide, about that deep. But that's where the word curfew comes from. Now if you were wealthy, you would have a metal curfew.
So when you say a banked fire, you're talking about like what we talked about, the fire pit, that it's built into the bank?
No, you're just pushing all of your coals to the back.
Oh, you're banking it against the back of
Yes.
the fireplace.
And you're
I
going to
see. Okay.
cover it with ash
Yeah.
to smother it. Now these little holes right here lets in a little air so that it keeps those coals hot. And they're getting just enough oxygen to stay hot. And you'll
So you
have
can
your
start
coals
your
the next
fire
morning
the next
when
morning.
you get up.
Oh, okay.
Is it open in the back?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's open in the back so that it fits right up against the back of the fireplace.
We need to find one of those.
Yeah.
Well, you can buy the metal ones. This one they had made, it's a reproduction, but it was at the Charlotte Museum of
You need
History.
to get that to Kathy.
Yeah. I never heard make it.
She's a potter, so.
Oh, here's another picture. Right here. This is how we gather our apples in the fall. So you get 4 of the kids in the family. You give them a sheet or a tablecloth. Get out under the tree. Dad climbs the ladder and shakes a limb. And the kids have to catch those apples as they fall. Now it's their job to inspect those apples and make sure they have no blemishes. If they have no blemishes, they wrap each one in a newspaper and put it in a basket. Now by the end of the day, they may have 12 baskets of apples. You would put those in your cellar or upstairs. And those will make it through to the starving time, if it's the right type of apple. And pippins were very popular with our first presidents. Even in our great-grandparents grew pippins. Now, what if it's just the man and his wife? Suppose your children are already married and gone. What are you going to do? Well, you get your apron and you walk out under the tree, and your husband reaches up there with a tool he's made, and he drops 1 or 2 apples at a time. So you're doing a small version of the same thing. But
And the one with blemishes, you eat them now.
well, you slice them up and put them on a scaffold in the yard and dry them. And after 3 days, they have to start getting leathery feel. Then you string them on a string and hang them up because they have to dry for 6 weeks. And then you cut them off the string after 6 weeks and put them in a poke. And that takes care of them. Now,
I've also heard that, I've never seen this done, I don't know, I've heard old timers talk about it, that they put sulfur on the apples.
yeah, that's sulfuring the apples. That's to keep them white.
Okay.
So you would do that in the bottom of a barrel.
Okay.
Dad's family did that. So you would burn sulfur.
Okay.
It's really the fumes.
Yeah, that smells bad.
Yes, it does.
We can do that with vinegar and water now. You could dump them in,
Vinegar and water.
dip them in vinegar water, lemon water, lemon juice.
But when you're peeling those bruised apples, you would save the peels and the cores, put them in a crock, made something like this, only it's big, about that tall. You add a little bit of sugar, a little bit of the mother from the vinegar, and fill it full of spring water, and stir it every day for 2 weeks, and then once a week for 6 months, and that'll be your vinegar for the next year's garden. You have to cover it with cheesecloth so air gets in and out of that crock.
That's vinegar with the mother.
Yes.
And what do you use vinegar for in the garden?
Everything.
Bugs?
Pickles.
Oh, for things you get from the garden. I see.
The Walker sisters are a famous group of old ladies in the mountains that refused to sell their land to the government to make the national park.
All right, Don, I got a big question.
Yes.
Did it taste this good?
Back in the day, are they not the best
They are
ever
the
eaten?
best.
They are so
Cooked
good.
over the fire, they always taste better for some reason. I don't know.
This is good stuff.
But they do.
Donald, what are they gonna have to eat at the bean one?
Well, I don't know. Ben and I've got to get together at that. He's got to figure out what people were eating in that time period. And Randall, you have to do that for Black Bill Walker.
They were eating this.
Well, this is the starving meal. The starving time is the whole month of February to the middle of March when those wild greens start growing. Now, they're not going to starve. They're just starved for a taste of something fresh.
What about those ramps?
Yes, they're waiting for the ramps, the wild greens, anything fresh. The only thing fresh they've had all winter would be an animal that they might have killed during the winter. But they have no fresh vegetables. Everything is either hung, strung, pickled, or potted. And they are wanting that taste of something fresh. Hung, strung, pickled, or potted.
What does potted mean, like canned?
No, you would take your leftover meat. Suppose you were eating a roast. You would chop up that roast real fine and add your fat to it, or butter, clarified butter to it, and put it in a little jar about like that. And then you cover it with a pig's bladder. Well, at the top you have to cover it more with some more of that clarified butter. And then you could put it in your pantry for a couple of weeks or in the spring house. And so when you wanted just a snack or something, you could get that little jar. It's kind of like pate, but they called it potted meat.
Or potted
Yeah,
meat.
potted
Like
meat.
Like
Yes.
potted meat.
Yes.
What is it, deviled ham, something, right?
Yeah.
Like something like deviled
Yes.
ham or something, and
Yes.
or what is that other one? Potted.
Potted
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 meat, yeah,
meat.
it's
Called
what it is,
potted
potted
meat.
meat.
Make good
But when you take the
Yes, it
cover
is.
off, then it's a
Ash
thick
it.
layer
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
that, yeah, goo.
Yeah.
Donna, when did they start using the beeswax to just can it with? Because that was one of the things they had in the journal were cans. It was glass cans, and that mean I looked it up. It was a canning jar. So did they? But it didn't have a screw lid. It would have had some kind of
Well,
lid.
some of the jars have a little channel around the top. It's like a little well. And they would pour the paraffin or wax,
They had
beeswax,
lots of beeswax
in
the
that,
journal, lots of
and
beeswax.
then put the cap on it like that. Kind of like this right here, only it has a channel in there. I have one jar like that. Susan gave it to me.
Like my grandmother, if she put any fruit away, whether it was jam or jelly or cooked fruit, she would put in a jar and she would put paraffin over it.
Yes.
That was, in the 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
So paraffin would seal it. But also there was a method of pouring lard over it, hog fat,
Yes.
which would help preserve what was below that. I assume it was meat.
It's just keeping out the oxygen. That's all it's doing. Keeping out oxygen. And they had no plastic or anything, so they used those pig bladders. And you can buy artificial pig bladders to do that with now.
And we owe canning to Napoleon.
Yes.
And so, after 1830 or something, you can figure it's trickling all over the world.
Yes.
This were his army.
Yes, he offered a big reward for that.
Big old rock come out there and big old sliver comes up under that rock.
For preserving anything, some way to preserve food, he offered a big reward for that. And there was a scientist that figured it out.
But they were canning before then, though, weren't they? But why would they have canning jars in 1750?
Well, yeah, they were sealed with
Was it the way that,
lead.
Did Napoleon come up with a way to seal the jars? That was what he came up with, or
No.
No, I think it was. Well, yeah, it was about the germs too.
You sealed it while it was still in boiling water.
Yes.
okay, yeah.
So that was what they invented. So any way to do that,
So he's
was
killing the
perfected
bacteria,
Yes.
before he sealed it.
right? And so
Okay.
any air in there was hot enough till the bacteria couldn't be alive,
Yeah.
and then it was
Sealed.
sealed while still at that temperature.
Maybe in the process then.
Yes, it was the process of sealing it up.
There's still also was a process where you would put the food in the jar and put a lid of some kind on it and boil it, water bath cannon as we know, and then when you take it out you turn it upside down. And the effect of that would be it would seal the opening of the jar, and whatever was the space that was left in there at the top was not going to contain oxygen, right?
Right. Now for jellies, you would mix your jelly up and put it in hot jars. Put it in there, and then you would pour brandy on the top. Then you'd cut a brown piece of paper, like grocery bags, that kind of brown paper. Cut it in a circle, the size of the top opening. I mean, where the top of the jelly is. Soak that in brandy. Put that on top of the brandy that's already in there. Then pour more brandy on the top, and then seal it with.
I like good jelly. Yummy. Good jelly.
Yummy.
I need some of that.
Where do you get that?
I have toad in the hole if anybody wants some. I have one taker, but there's still more.
It's good.
That's what we did potted meats at Lisa's house.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we did potted meats.
That was so potted.
It's really
We
good.
did. We made potted meat.
Where's the dessert?
Yeah.
Put in there and sealed on top.
Here's the dessert.
Yeah, get rid of that.
Your egg. I may try some more. Yeah, the
Toad in a hole.
trouble. That's clarified butter.
What do you do with
Have you
it?
had toad in the hole?
Burn not the plastic.
Oh, really? Oh, that's why. So, where is the toad in the hole?
Donna, what was it you poured on top of that potted meat? It looked like butter. Was it butter? Clarified butter. Clarified butter.
Yeah, so how would one
Yeah, you can see
eat
how
that?
they're chopping
Like
it.
just put honey on it or something?
Yeah, right here. Apple butter.
Apple butter.
Is that the middle of it?
Yeah, the middle.
That's what I always put on my toenail. I make those all the time.
Now here's some hand lotion.
Okay.
At Christmas we had the bear hunter that came and rendered bear fat,
Oh, it's greasy.
and we mixed bear fat and beeswax. And that's the lotion the mountain people used.
This is so much fun.
What was your mixture?
Bear fat.
I used to go when it's 50-50 and it made it a little hard. Do you remember?
We just poured it in there until it looked right and felt right.
What, now it's bear fat
A
and
little
corn?
hard.
What was the lady's name that was the teacher at Greenbrier? For
Elsie.
Elsie
Elsie.
Burris would take Robin up there with her. And they sent Robin out to pick a bouquet of flowers to put on the table. And she came back so proud. She set that bouquet down. And Louisa lit into her. And she said, "Child, don't you ever pick a pumpkin blossom. That's one less pumpkin that will get us through the starving time this winter." And she had been so proud because she picked those flowers, and then she just about cried. So we're going to try to have at least an artificial pumpkin blossom that night to put in the flowers.
How many Walker sisters were there?
Well, there were 10. I've heard there were 11 kids. 3 boys. There must have been one that died at birth. 3 boys and 7 girls. So the 3 boys married, and one of the girls married, and one of the girls died. So that left 5. So there were 5 Walker sisters that became famous because they wouldn't sell to the government. And our grandmother was best friends with Louisa, the one that gave Robin Goddard down the road, buddy. And Robin loved her better than any of them. Margaret, the oldest, she barked out the orders. She wouldn't have an outhouse. See, they didn't have an outhouse. She said, "Well, people will know what we're doing in there if we have an outhouse."
Like they couldn't see you out in the woods.
That's what I thought. And I said, "Well, tell me one thing." I said, "How did they take a bath? Did they put the tub in front of the fire?" She said, "No." She said, "They just washed off during the winter, but in the summer they put the tub out in the yard. And they just bathed out in the yard." She said, "Well, it was isolated. Nobody was around." And I thought, all those people in the park that used to walk up there, you would think, unless they did it at midnight or something, I don't know.
Early in the morning.
But to hear Robin Goddard talk about it, it's fascinating. The ticket's worth it just to listen to her talk about the Walker sisters. It's fascinating.
I'm not sure. When is the Walker sister?
April 30th.
Lunch. Oh, I guess it's like a lunch kind of.
Well, Donna,
Yes.
have they traced the lineage of the Walker sisters and how they were actually kin to
I don't know. You'd
Bill
have to,
Walker and
that would be a Robin Goddard question.
I'd like to know if they're part of the Walker family that came first into Virginia Valley and came all the way down to Southwest Point, and then went all the way across the Mississippi, and in 3 generations wound up in Napa Valley, California.